Hi everybody, Peter Vogt here, the Introvert Advocate, out for a stroll after lunch on a beautiful, almost spring day. And today's video is about making your voice heard as an introvert. And this is something that's been on my mind a lot lately, especially the last few months, for some reason that I just really don't know, but it has been. And what I wanted to say today is that so often when we think of finding our voice as a culture, as a society, we literally confine it to our voice, like me speaking to you right now, that type of voice. And that's fine, but when you're an introvert and you're looking for a way to express yourself, to find your voice, so to speak, your voice isn't the only thing you've got at your disposal. You've actually got some other ways of expressing yourself that might fit much better for you. For example, your fingers. I'm a writer type myself. These videos that I've been making are a new thing for me because most of the time, if I could pick as an introvert how to express myself the best, how to make my voice heard the best, it's going to be with my fingers. It's going to be writing something, and that might be the case for you too. But even writing, even writing isn't the only other game in town. There's so many other ways that you can express yourself when you're an introvert. Maybe you're somebody who likes to paint. Maybe you're somebody who likes to draw. Maybe you're somebody who plays music, performs music, writes your own music. All those different sorts of art forms are another way of making your voice heard as an introvert. Sometimes without even physically saying a word. So you've got those going for you. But it actually even goes farther than that. I think about my dad a lot. I lost my dad in 2015, and I have told many people that of the many people I've known in my life, I guess my dad, I would label him the introvert's introvert. He'd be the person you'd find in the dictionary under the word introvert. That's kind of just who he was. Everybody, when he died, said, he was quiet, but we really enjoyed him. That was what he got all the time. And when I was a kid growing up, he spent hours upon hours upon hours out in the garage, away from everybody, all alone, smoking his Winston Ultralight 100 cigarettes, which at the time in the 70s, I was able to go and purchase for him at the nearby store. But that's another video. Kind of funny now, it would never happen. But anyway, Dad spent all this time out in the garage, and what was he doing out there? When I was a kid, sometimes I had no idea what he was doing out there because there was no TV, there was nothing. But you know what he was doing out there, Mr. Introvert's introvert? Frequently, he was fixing cars. He would go and buy cars super cheap. On occasion, people would give him cars because they just wanted to get rid of them. And Dad would buy these things or get them. He'd fix them up. He'd fix them in terms of repairing them, which at the time was easier to do. And he would also patch up the body, the rust, all of that, repaint them, and sell them. And when I was a kid, I never really knew that it was anything more than just transactional, a way to make money. And it was. And we needed it. But the more I think about it, my dad, the introvert's introvert, that was his way of making his voice heard, of expressing himself. He fixed up cars. He built furniture too. He did all sorts of things with his hands. And that might be some other way that you as an introvert express yourself, that you make your voice heard. And it's a totally legitimate, totally great way to do it. My point being today, this is just a food for thought video, that if you're an introvert and you think, the only way to make my voice heard, so to speak, is with my physical voice, nope, just not the case. There's all sorts of other ways to do it, whether it's with your fingers, artwork, like all the other things that I've mentioned. So just keep that in mind as you go about your days and go about your life, that there's lots of ways for you to express yourself as an introvert that don't have to be the spoken word. And you can use any one of them that seems to fit you. In fact, many of them probably do fit you better than the spoken word, because many of them give you time to think before you have to actually make that expression. You don't have to come up with it in the moment, like, I don't know, these videos, for example. I'm getting better at them, but it takes some practice. So keep that in mind as you go about your days, as I said. And before I go, one other thing. I've mentioned all these alternative ways to make your voice heard as an introvert, and they're all great. But don't discount this one that I'm using right now. Don't discount your actual voice. It can be very easy to fall into that trap of thinking, I just can't do it that way. I'm not capable. And you know what? Only you can decide such a thing, but you have more in you than you probably think on that front. Especially if you have time to prepare, time to think about it. That's what I do with these videos. I think about what I'm going to say beforehand, because God knows I'm not going to win any Academy Awards for production value. So I try to think about what I want to say beforehand. So even in the spoken word, you can come up with a pathway, a way that works for you to do it. And it just might be the very thing that fits you the best. So don't discount your physical voice, as I remind you that you can also consider these other methods of expressing yourself. So take that and put it in your brain and give it some thought. I hope this video's helped you a bit today. If you know other people in your life, especially introverts, who might benefit from hearing the message and thinking about this, please share the video with them on your social media or just privately, however you want to do it. And in the meantime, if you would like to learn more about what I do and the things that I do and write about and communicate about and educate about where introverts and introversion are concerned, you can visit me at my website, as always. It's introvertinsights.com. This is Peter Vogt, the Introvert Advocate, signing off for today. Thanks for watching the video, as always. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.